Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another video. So, for some of you that follow me religiously, you know why this bag of chips are, why they're sitting here on this canvas. For those that don't follow me religiously, you're probably thinking I'm nuts, but I promise you there's a reason why these are here. Canela Sirocco sent me the ketchup chips. They finally arrived, and they are very, very good. So I'll tell you, they start off like a barbecue chip, but then turn into ketchup. They're really interesting, but really good. So I finally got them, guys. You can lay off of Canela now, and yeah, she was nice and sent me a few other goodies too. Yeah, I got them. All right, let's start the show. So here are the colors I'm going to be using. I have Dioxazine Purple. I have the new Nebula by COLOURARTE. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there or not. It's a gorgeous, deep, deep phthalo bluish green color. I absolutely love it. This here is a phthalo blue by Golden. This here is called Cupid's Crush, and I'll give you a close-up of the new primary element colors in a second out of the bottle. This is just a fluorescent magenta, a standard yellow by Amsterdam, and then I have some white cell activator in this bottle here. All right. So the same colors from my Switcheroo collaboration painting, which, by the way, dried beautifully. Cannot wait to show you this with the resin on it. So, you know, a sunset-y, beachy theme, you know, those colors. So that's what we're going to do today. Let me show you these couple of primary elements.
Okay, I got you outside so you could see them in the sunlight. Pretty they are. Ooh, sorry about that. So that's Cupid's Crush. Not sure if you're catching the sparkle or not, but that is that one. And then this is the Nebula color. And these are both from the Be Still My Heart collection from COLOURARTE. And then I have a painting here that I actually did with the Cupid's Crush. So this only has one layer of resin on it so far, so you may see some imperfections. I have to do another layer, but this here was the Cupid's Crush Tempted Tulip, and some of the Prism Pour Golden Honey. So you can see how beautiful that gold is lighting up in this piece and the other colors. Woo-wee. Okay. This is available if anybody is looking for a piece of art. 10-inch round. It's very pretty. You can email me, artbytammy@yahoo.com. Okay, before I start, I want to thoroughly explain what I am going to be doing in this video. So my idea is I'm going to, you've seen people put paint on a canvas before. Put a little bit of swiping color on a piece of paper or their swiping tool, whatever they're using, and then they swipe that one color over the colors and they create their pattern. What I am going to do for the first time is I am going to, on my swipe tool, put my entire palette of colors for the painting. So this is going to be an abstract swipe. I'm going to load my piece of paper or whatever I use to swipe with up with all of my colors. I'm going to put some white swiping color on the top, And I'm going to flip it over, and on this canvas, I am going to make a painting by using just a card with paint on it. All right, we're going to have some fun with this one. The painting turns out beautiful in the end. I'm very excited. So let's get started. I think it's also important to mention that this technique can be done using regular acrylic pouring paints. You do not need to use the Bloom recipe to do this. You can mix your paints with your Floetrol or your pouring medium or whatever you use to do your normal swipes. You can use that same recipe to do this way. The recipe I used will be in the description of this video, along with a mixing tutorial on how I mix these paints. This is just a White House paint that is right out of the can, no water added. I just put some in the center of the canvas and tilt it around until it's all covered, sides and all. I find doing it this way, I have a nice level surface to work on. Paint is the same depth all over the canvas. So that's why I do it this way. What I'm going to do is, this is called a cell activator. That term belongs to the Bloom technique. When you're doing regular paints with a Dutch pour, with Floetrol and water, regular American Floetrol and water, there is no cell activator term used. It's only when you're doing something that has Australian Floetrol and Amsterdam white acrylic paint, or another white paint that works, or any color that works. That's when you're using a cell activator. I know there's a lot of new people to pouring, and they keep using the term, I mixed my cell activator for my ring pour, and they're just, the terminology is very confusing, but if you could remember, cell activator is a term that belongs to a Bloom technique. And what's a Bloom technique? When you're mixing house paints into your paint, not regular acrylic type paints into American Floetrol. All right, so I'm going to zip it now. But anyway, there's my white. I'm going to need that at the top so that when I pull across the paint, it's going to swipe over my colors that I put down here. So, for example, I'm going to put some of this beautiful Cupid's Crush. Some of my fluorescent magenta. Some of my yellow. You don't need much. Then maybe I'll switch over to my phthalo blue. My nebula. My card's getting a little heavy here, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just going to swipe one time just like this. I'm going to need to use something a little bit stronger. See, the ends are curling up on me. But you see how pretty it works. So we're going to try to design a whole painting doing just swipes like that with actual stronger paper. So these are old business cards that are a little bit stronger. Plastic from packaging works excellent too to do something like that. Or this, I should say. So I'm going to start off with some purple, just a little bit. Some magenta. Nebula. Nope, that was the phthalo blue. That's the nebula. Some yellow again. Just a little bit. And I'm going to try to add in a little more cell activator here. I didn't put that much on there. And you shouldn't be doing this over your painting. I have to do that so you can see it. But oh, it's so pretty. It makes like a rainbow of effects. All right, so besides swiping, I'm also going to use my gloved hands to maybe contour this a little bit. All right, so I'm going to put you on time lapse now, and we're going to finish this one up and move on to the next one. So this type of swiping actually worked really, really well. What gave me a challenge was the composition, and that was my own fault. I did a swipe. I believe it's this next one that, yep, it's this one that I should not have gone in that direction, but in the end I changed a few things and it all came together. But putting all the colors on the card and just swiping the colors where you want them was very, shall I say, freeing. Like you have more control over your design versus laying them on a canvas and then trying to get them to go where you want them, if that makes sense. And also, like I said, putting them all on the card at the same time and pulling them across the canvas created the most magical palette I've ever seen. Like, they're just rainbows of different colors, and like when you see the close-up you'll know what I'm talking about. But little tight areas like that one that I just did, I was forced to put a little paint in there only because if I tried to put it on a thin piece of paper, it would have just flopped over. But for the bigger swipes, it worked out beautifully. And then I used the edge of the card to kind of contour it a little bit. I used my fingers here and there. So you're going to see all of that. If you want to see mixing directions for an effect like this, I will go and put a video in the description for you of how I mix these paints. This way, you know, if you're lost on mixing directions for bloom style paintings, you'll have that reference. I can't mix the colors on every video I do because so many of you have already seen that, you know, a ton of times. So I have some really good, you know, long, thorough mixing tutorials if you need that help. And like I said, I'll put one of those in the description. So this is where I was struggling with the composition. So I decided to scrape some off and then swipe in a couple of different areas. And it all comes together. I'm very happy with the outcome, and I hope you enjoy this. I'll be back in a minute. Boy, oh boy, did that give me a run for my money. Woo! Not the swiping with the card. That was easy. It was the composition. Boy, did I struggle. So, anyway, here's what we got. I'm going to put the flash on for a second so you can really see these colors. They are truly spectacular. And while I did have to lose a couple of areas to try to somewhat get this looking like a painting, it's just, the colors are beautiful. So that's how I picture it hanging like this. Here we go.
I mean, look at those colors. Oh, color, color, color. So, yeah, I think you guys should try it. I really do. I think you really, really, really should try it. And if you do, post a photo of your card swipe on United We Pour Fluid Art Group. That is the group I have on Facebook. It's in the description, the link for it. Come on over and join us. And show us your art. So I'll probably fix this one area here where that's from losing contact with the swipe card, but I mean, look at that. It's just, I love the colors. I don't even care about the composition anymore. That. Ooh. Alrighty, my friends. Until the next time, I love you all and happy pouring.